Is it a problem with the families? Cause problems?
No.
You didn't cause a problem?
Not at all.
None at all?
Not at all.
This is your... No, don't move. This is your son and daughter-in-law?
Yes.
And you have no problems about him marrying Lisa, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. No.
At first.
At first. What problems did you have at first?
Well, he had a little,
I'm going to drag it out.
She was a bit
Bit what?
pushy, and I didn't like it.
You didn't, but that could have been a black woman who could have been pushy. Look at that one down there.
I know. Sometimes
imagine having her as an
not
in-law.
really pushy, but she was a bit.
Bit what? Was it the colour?
No.
Right. Was it the culture?
It's her way.
It was her way. So that was you as a person.
Yeah.
That was nothing to do with...
No.
She could have been like that, but black.
No, I don't care what she was.
But you have problems,
I
don't you?
want.
Yeah, I've got problems on my side.
Your side.
On her side.
Why?
A hell of a lot of problems. When I first met Roger, I was with him for a year, and I didn't introduce him to my family, because I wanted to get to know him first. My mum could see that I was very happy with him, but she didn't know what colour he was. She just knew his name was Roger.
She could tell by your behaviour and everything.
Yeah, that I was happy.
Yeah.
And she was happy for that.
Yeah.
And she was eager to meet him. And when I eventually, after the year, brought him round, she wanted him out of the house. She said, basically, I can't say the words, but it was very cruel, and he had to leave.
In front of him?
No, she said it to me,
Right.
and I didn't say it to him, first of all, because...
So she was giving you a choice between your mother and your family, presumably, and Roger.
Mm.
And you had to make
I
that
had
choice.
to take... I obviously left the house, and I didn't tell him till we got home. And we've had a lot of problems for about 5 years, 6 years. As the years have gone on, we've been together now nearly 11 years. And I think my mum's come to terms now, but she won't accept him.
What's it done to you?
It's made me stronger. I can guarantee you that. It's made me a lot stronger.
What's it made you feel like all those years?
Empty.
Depressed?
For the first 5 years it did.
Sad?
Yeah.
Unhappy?
Yeah.
Miserable?
Yeah.
Cried a lot?
Yes.
A lot?
A lot.
No, you cried a lot at night. On your own.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't let him see how unhappy you were. And you're remembering it now, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you were really, because you don't want to be in that position, where you have to choose between the man you love and your mother and your father and the rest of your family.
Yeah, especially for the kids as well.
And for your children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course, because they've got grandchildren. Your children, you want your children to have their grandparents.
Because my oldest one, she never saw my mum for about a good 4 or 5 years. She never saw her at all. And the twins, I've got a set of twins, and one of them was in intensive care when he was born. He was in a coma, he's had meningitis twice, and then none of them came up.
To see him?
No.
And you felt alone?
Basically, he had to leave the hospital for them to come in.
You must also have felt ashamed for Roger.
No, I was embarrassed, not ashamed,
Ashamed, isn't it? She was ashamed.
I felt hurt for him.
You love this man, and you want him to respect you.
Yeah, and
And
the
part
first
of the
5 years,
respect
we cared for each other, but we didn't have that 100% respect, because there was so much bickering.
Right.
My mum would say things about him. I felt like I had the duty to tell him what they're saying,
So that made him
and
feel...
it made us argue.
Yeah. It caused tension between you. It's going to cause stress on him, and you're going to feel stressed, aren't you? Because you're not intentionally or nastily, but in effect you're taking her away from her family. And you don't want to do that. As a loving husband, you wanted to be happy with a family like you are with yours.
No, it was her family you thought I was taking away.
Yeah, of
But
course.
I wasn't.
No.
She wasn't. She's like just basically 20 minutes drive at the most away. So if they really wanted to see her, they could come see her. She
But
could go home. I didn't stop her from not seeing her because what they was doing to me.
No, didn't.
No, that's not how it goes. You didn't see her.
You were quite
But-
charitable of it.
Yeah, but just don't bother speaking to me full stop.
Did it cause problems where you've ever thought about it was too much trouble?
There was a lot of trouble, and there was times that we'd split up. We'd got back together, we'd split up. I can't over my fingers the times we've split up. But now, over the years, where I've literally kept away from my mum, not trying to...
See,
to ring my mum. You've got to understand.
You see, I'm looking at you, Giles.
This is what.
My mum was brought up.
They didn't do it, Giles. They didn't do it. It's people like you that did it.
Yeah. It's my mum. My mum was brought up.
Listen, one minute, right? I don't have a problem, right, with black people and white people being together, right? That doesn't bother me. I'm saying I don't want to be.
You personally don't want to get married to no one else but black.
Why?
That's right.
But you might marry a black girl, but really inside she's white.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah. Absolutely.
She'll tell you now. She'll tell you now.
I
don't really hang around with no white people, you know.
Right.
Serious, but that's how I am.
No, the thing is, right, I've got a lot of white friends in it. I've got a lot of white friends in it.
I've got some proper white friends, and that's who I stick to.
Why do you say that's racist?
More people.
Because he's saying, you know, people are black on the outside and white in the inside.
No, he said you might have a girl that's black. He didn't say people are. He said you might marry. He might have married Rosemary.
I know some black girls who speak proper Cockney.
Why does that make it white in the inside?
We've got
the way they act. I know some black girls, and they act like a white person.
He means they're English. He means they're English. British, all right, British. That's what he means. Yeah. It's like her down there. He means really she's black on the outside, but she's actually English.
She's English.
She's as English as her.
She's English. That's what I am. That's
you
what
are.
I am that.
I was born in India.
Oh, well tell this one, because she says that's racist.
No, this is my daughter.
I know.
Yeah, no.
You tell her.
No. But somebody to define that is racist, because my so-called culture is what is handed on to me. Now, if I was not handed on what you've been handed on, I've been handed on a British.
We'll be lost.
Yeah, fine. But my parents, when they were, their ancestors were slaves. You know, they are second-line slaves. Or, you know, if you would look back. Now, my parents were born in Guyana, South America. Now, Guyana was British owned. It was British Guyana. Now, they didn't have a culture to pass down. Now, they've come over here and, you know, for a better education, and brought us up over here, and this we look as our home. I'm married to a white man. I've been married to him for 18 years, and he's actually the father of my daughter who's 26. So I lost track here, but she is the same man. And when we got together, he saw me as a person. He didn't see the colour. And that's what affected me, because everybody I had met up till then saw me as a colour. I was raised, you know, went to school, and I was taunted on a daily basis.
Where, in Guyana or in England?
No, in England.
Yeah.
I've been here
in
England for over 40 years now, but at school. And it happened, my maiden name is Bar, so I was called Chocolate Bar as a daily basis, and all kinds of things. And, you know, people would meet, that's how I saw it. In the end, I didn't like me at all. And he was the first person that saw me as a woman, as a person. That
but the thing is, I don't have nothing against that. You know, you're with a white man, yeah? Fine, it's not a problem, you know? Look, come around my house, right? I'll make some food.
Yeah, I don't have a problem.
You can stay at my house.
I'm very close.
I don't have a problem with that.
I've got brothers, and we're all close family. And as far as culture is concerned, we just pass on.
You said you're a white woman.
If you want to look at it, I've looked at myself this week before coming here, and that's how people would see me, because I have no roots, as she would call it.
Is that how you feel? When you say that, all you mean is, I assume, it's like I'd hope I would feel if I was your colour, that I have the same, and I was here like you, but particularly if I was born here, that it's him really. You've got the same interests, the same culture, the same loyalties. Yes, of course you have a history. I was brought up on my Irish history, you know, and all that kind of, and all the folk songs, and all the romance, and all the Blarney, and all that kind of thing. Yeah, but I'm English. This is my home. This is where I want to be. This is where I feel comfortable. This is where I feel safe. This is when I'm in trouble. I want to be with my own people, right? And she's my own people. The people who think and feel like me and share my values. Not my opinions, not my beliefs, but my values. You know that what's important in life is that we're all equal, and we obey the rule of law, and we're all entitled to have our own opinions, and we all respect one another. And that's what she is, and her colour is irrelevant.
That's how I
That's culture. That's culture. That is
But that's how I
culture.
think. I'm talking about culture, not colour.
Yeah, well, where's the
Hang on.
Well, I mean, when I was
That's
at school,
what I'm
in
talking
response to what the gentleman said behind,
Roger.
Roger, I'm not sure if I've got the wrong end of the stick, but when I was at college, I moved to London, and black friends then told me that I didn't know where I was coming from as a mixed race person.
Yeah, but they're people with an agenda, aren't they?
They are, yeah, and the fact that I'm, black on the outside, white in the inside, and at the end of the day, what does that boil down to? Food, that I'm not eating jerk chicken and rice every night, that I will go home and I'll have, I don't know, pasta or something. Yeah, roast dinner, again, what the lady said over there. So that was in response to that, and and then he just said to my mum, now come round, I'll cook you some food. What's food? What's food?
No, I said that because you said, you feel like a very English person and what have you.
He feels at home and comfortable.
And you feel at home and comfortable. I said I don't have nothing against you, right? Being with a white guy, right? Mm-hmm. That's fine, yeah. I don't want you to look at me and say I've got something against your relationship.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, me personally would not be doing what you're doing.
But that's a prejudice, you see. Yeah. That is, you have exactly described and defined a prejudice.
Right.
You're saying, I'm not interested in her, however nice she might be, however much you might fancy her, however much you might lust after her, however much you then might find that you share the same interest, and she's in tune with you, you're on the same wavelength, you like her company, she's interesting, she's fun to be with, she makes you laugh, all the kind of things that you find in the person that you actually then discover that you're in love with and want to marry. All right? That's how I was and with my wife. And you're saying, but no, I'll leave all that to one side. I am putting a wall up because she is white. I am prejudiced against her because she's white. That's a prejudice. There's no other way of defining it.